Hello, I'm EnterElysium, and today EA have said that Battlefield Hardline, which was meant to be coming out in October, is going to be delayed until 2015. Considering the games don't come out in January or February, that means March, so that's basically a delay of 6 months. So instead of 3 months, it's going to be 9, so they've tripled the time till release. They've stated 3 things to this. Firstly, multiplayer. They said that the multiplayer wasn't innovative enough, and the people's feedback was it needed to be more innovative, and they wanted to truly change up the criminal cop fantasy element stuff. What I read by that is people went, yeah, it's just Battlefield. You've just renamed the teams. And what they want to do, or people want them to do, which is what they're going to do, possibly, is change it to have some asymmetrical gameplay. Now, I'm a massive fan of this, okay? This is a good thing, but they really should have learned this one from the start. It was really obvious going in. Asymmetrical game. You've got cops and robbers, right? That's the whole premise of Battlefield Hardline. Cops and robbers. So make asymmetrical gameplay. Have robbers defending or coming to rob a bank. Stuff like that. Not team deathmatch, capture the flag. Or capture the bag, or whatever it is. Have some asymmetrical gameplay. Payday proves it's good. Payday proves it's popular. At least they're taking that on board. Secondly, they wanted to provide a more in-depth story experience. Fine, good. You really should have known that a story was, meant to be there in the single player. But okay. And thirdly, stability. Now, this is an odd one, because what they've said is, we understand stability is important, and we'll continue to improve the stability of the game as it goes towards launch. Okay? Games should be stable when they're released. If you release them to the public, and the public are paying money, games should be stable. Barring unforeseen little things, games should be stable, especially in a AAA release where you have the money to check this. So putting stability as one of the 3 reasons you're delaying it really doesn't fill me with hope for you. If you're going, we're delaying it because this, fair enough, you should have realised that these are important, and we want to increase the stability. And then saying, we just want to improve the stability. Well, that implies that it wasn't good enough already. I guess I am happy that they are actually taking feedback on board and changing it, but they really should have realised this to begin with. If you're going to do cops and robbers, you can't just rename the factions. The whole point about cops and robbers in real life is that they're asymmetrical. They're not exactly the same. Anyway, that's Battlefield Hardline. Second piece of news. In my IRL yesterday, I mentioned Areal, the Kickstarter, was incredibly dodgy. Well, an hour after I put that video up, it got suspended, and Kickstarter said that it's suspended permanently, and that everyone's getting their pledges cancelled and so on, because either of 2 things, right? They linked to the terms of service, and they said it's either because the people behind Areal or people related to them have been posting updates in the comments and stuff and trying to basically sway the comments. Okay, well, we know that they had a ridiculous amount of comments. I mean, they've claimed that they've had about almost 20,000 comments on their updates. Yes, and one user alone posted 1,800 of those. And a lot of those were doxing. And if you go to the comment section, you can see what I mean. Although some of those have since been deleted now. Yeah. That's quite possibly because they were making spam accounts and posting in their own comment section. The second one of which is kind of even more crazy, which possibly could be it, is they funded their own project. Now, you might be like, why would they fund their own project? They'd get the money back. The way Kickstarter works is, if you don't make the threshold, you don't get any money, right? And that's a sensible way to go. Because if I say I need $1 million for a video game, and you give me 50, I'm not going to be able to create a video game. So what will that 50 go to? It's not like I'm going to go, we'll pay a developer for an hour of his time and not get anything. It makes sense not to give you the money, right? Okay? What scams do for Kickstarter is that they go, pay us this much money, so $50,000 for a AAA release that's going to have its own game engine, despite the fact you use Unity assets in your trailer, and want to release it on all the different consoles, despite the fact you don't have a dev kit, and say you don't need a dev kit, which is completely bollocks because you need a dev kit. Okay, so they say they need $50,000. Okay, this hypothetical scam would say that they need $50,000. You pledge $30,000, or people in general pledge $30,000. They go, right, we're not going to get any more money. Let's pledge $20,000 of our own. And here's the clever part. We won't ever pay it because we've registered it to a cancelled credit card, or we've registered it to a credit card that will be cancelled, or whatever like that. So what happens is Kickstarter goes, we got funded. Here's the money. gives you 30,000 and goes, 20,000 we couldn't find it. It bounced back. This always happens in Kickstarter, a certain percentage of the funds never get there. However, that's how a scam works. Now, Kickstarter have looked into it and suspended it and said that, it's one of these two reasons. Now, it could well be option one. They'd have looked into those comment section and gone, yeah, let's check the IP on these. Oh, it's the same as the guys who made the Kickstarter. Or it could be option two. Let's look at the backers. Oh, they've only backed this project. They were created an hour before they backed the project, and they come from the same IP. So one of those two options, or possibly both, probably both in my opinion, is true. And Kickstarter suspended it, which, is kind of a win. However, they are now saying that it was a conspiracy of trolls against them, and it's because of the Ukrainian-Russian conflict, I guess you would say. It's not a war. And the Russians are out to get them, and if you want to submit donations via PayPal on the website, you still can. Don't do that, guys. You're cleverer than that. I've been EnterElysium, and this has been IRL News. Actually kind of upbeat, considering they're actually changing Battlefield Hardline. They should have realised that, but good. And the Areal Kickstarter, which was incredibly dodgy, minimum, was suspended. So yeah, this has actually been a good news episode. Stay shiny.